We are exploring. Welcome to part 2 of my two-part series, or actually it's a three-part series about Oakland and Fraternal Historic Cemetery Park in Little Rock, Arkansas. Two parts are gonna be about Oakland Cemetery and one part about the Fraternal Cemetery. This one is a pretty interesting gravestone and actually my favorite one. Lula Vestal died in 1919, and this piece of rock on top of that pedestal is petrified wood. And if you look very closely, you can see these growth rings in what formerly was wood, and under pressure and over time was converted into a piece of rock. How interesting. I wonder if Lula Vestal was an archaeologist or paleontologist. This grave here is the one of Lottie Charlotte Andrew Stevens, Little Rock's first black school teacher. I have dedicated a complete video to Lottie. If you're interested, dig back in my videos and watch it. We're here in the northeastern corner. Look, somebody put up a bird box there. And here's where you find the oldest graves in the cemetery. 1863. I can't read it. The cemetery was founded in 1863. And these look pretty old. That was also a death date in the 1860s. And there's another small group of grave markers that are among the first here in the cemetery. Oakland Cemetery was founded in the early 1860s. Some say 1862, others say 63. This was woodland here and mostly oaks before the cemetery was started. Thus the name Oakland Cemetery. Earlier we saw the mausoleum, and here's a drainage creek you can see running through the cemetery. Daffodils are blooming in late winter, and this grave, it's a newer gravestone, but I think that's really cool. Let's get up close. You see, this is Little Rock's very own Bonnie and Clyde. I wonder how they met and what they thought about the combination of their first names. These people were proper, I'm pretty sure, and did not rob banks. This grave marker here is pretty interesting too. C.E. McDaniels was killed in Railroad Yards, Jonesboro, Arkansas. And here's a gravestone that is in the process of being repaired. It had fallen over, you can see that clearly there. They had put some sort of cement between the pieces and clamped them together. Here we're in the Jewish area of the cemetery. Let me show you this monument. The spheric shape there on a pedestal is a memorial for Jewish war veterans. And the huge memorial there in the back is a memorial for two high-ranking Jewish soldiers. I did not look closely what they were famous for here. In one thing I want to point out here in this Jewish area, you can see that around most graves there are borders, and also one thing to note is that some where the actual person is buried are covered with a large chunk of marble to discourage you from walking over the spot where the actual person is buried, just in front of their headstone. Here, this is an interesting item. I'm not sure if you're familiar with this tradition in Jewish cemeteries, remembering those who have gone before us. If you look closely around the star, there are little pebbles, and it's a tradition in Jewish cemeteries that if you visit a relative, you would place a pebble or a rock on top of their grave marker as a sign that you have visited, just like we see here on the grave marker for the Hirsch family. And there in the distance, the grave marker in the center, it has some rocks and pebbles on top as well. Now, there is an engraving on top of the Star of David here. A pebble is a sign of love and remembrance. Stones are eloquent graveside mementos, substantial as loss, heavy as grief, enduring as memory. I hope you enjoyed watching this video as much as I enjoyed making it.